I wanted to introduce you to how to make an online rubric. I'm using one of my favorite online rubric makers. It's called Rubistar, and it's at 4teachers.org, the number 4teachers.org. 4teachers.org has a lot of interesting things that you may want to look at, including a rubric maker. Now, you have to create a login. I've already created one. If you haven't, you would hit register. Now, one of the little problems for people in Doha is it asks for a zip code. The reason is that it's funded by the U.S. government, and so because of their funding source, they need to show what area they service. But just put any 5 numbers in there. 111111 will work when you register, and that will take you in to having an account. Now, here you can see you can go to a saved rubric, or you can search for a rubric that maybe you've created, or that a certain kind of rubric. Here they show that you can go right in to doing specific kinds of rubrics. They have a shell built up. I'm going to log in, because by logging in I can save my rubrics. So now I'm logged in, and it says, do I want to save my rubric? No. Okay, I'm going to make a new rubric. Now, this is because when you go in, it will ask you to make a new rubric. This is taking me in because I have some saved rubrics. But it will ask you to make a rubric, and it says you can choose a kind of rubric here that has kind of a set list of descriptors. So see if you can find a rubric that kind of fits what you're going to do. For example, let's look at a research report, because research reports are something that frequently we use rubrics for. It's going to have my name on it, and I'm going to name it Research Report number 1 on fossils. I mean, you can name it anything you want to. You can say whether you want it to be a temporary rubric or if you want to save it online, but I'm going to say temporary. Now, the advantage of using an online rubric maker is that it helps you come up with ideas for the descriptors and for the categories. Now, here it has many categories that are common to research report rubrics. Now, I'm going to say the most important thing to me is the quality of the information in this report. You can pick anything you want, and if they don't have what you want, you can write it in yourself. I'll show you how to do that. But right now I'm going to pick the quality of information, and it gives me the descriptors. Now, I can read those descriptors. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Sounds all right to me. Or maybe I want to change one. It says 1 to 2. I'm going to say provides at least 3, because I want more than they have it in there. So see, you can modify these. You can say, like here, I'm going to put descriptors in here. You can put anything you want to in here. Satisfactory needs improvement unsatisfactory. You can change the points. Maybe I could want to say 6 to 10 there, or 6 to 10. You can do whatever you want to. It just gives you a starting place. Now, for example, the next thing I want is the sources. And again, here it gives me some descriptors, but I can change them if I want to. Maybe the next thing that's important to me is the amount of information. And then perhaps I want to do mechanics. Maybe I want to do a presentation, and that's not one of the descriptors, one of the categories it gives. So I'll put in my own categories here. And then I'll write the descriptors for that category. that's what I want to say, and then I can put in the descriptors just like I would if I were going to start a rubric from scratch. Now, you can do that as many as you want to, so you can choose from what they've got, or you can write your own. You can modify what they've got or accept it, whatever works for you. When you think the rubric looks like you want it to look, hit submit. And here is what my rubric looks like. Now, if I like it, I can go ahead to the next step. If I don't, I can go back and modify the rubric. If it's the way I want it, I can print it, I can download it, or I can make it available online. Now I'm going to download it. Now I can print it as a PDF. I can download it as a Word document. I can download it as a spreadsheet so that I could use it to add up points. You have a lot of freedom here to make the rubric what you want it to be. Perhaps the biggest advantage of using an online rubric creator, or at least experimenting with online rubric creators, is that you can get the idea of how to write those descriptors. That's probably the hardest thing about writing a rubric, is learning to write those descriptors at each level of quality. And by seeing some that someone else has already written, it can help make that easier. Explore with some of the online rubrics and see if they work for you. Thank you.